We live. We live again. If y'all ain't see it, I hope y'all ain't see it. Because we had some technical difficulties, man. I done took a week off and forgot how to podcast for, I guess. But went on vacation and forgot everything. Oh, it was just a week, dang. But shout out to Chad, shout out to Mike, shout out to Caleb for holding it down last week, recording, doing the whole nine. Great show. Hats off to y'all boys.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yep. So I was down in Florida, Sarasota. I think I brought the Heat some good luck, man.
I think
You
you
know,
did.
you know, it might have been a little bad luck, but when Derek White miraculously tip in a shot, but I was chilling. I was chilling on the putting green, watching them boys get flamed by Caleb Martin. Though I ain't even.
Yeah.
Uh, that was tough.
So
That
you
was
was
tough
down
for
in
me.
Florida for Game 7, huh?
Game 6 and Game 7. When I got
Oh
there,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I got
And
there,
and Game 1 then, right?
and Game 1, and Game
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
rich,
man.
bro. I'm trying to get like you, man.
Nah, not rich. But a funny story, but because I was muted, so ain't nobody actually hear the story. But it was Taryn's birthday, so shout out to Taryn. Happy birthday, Taryn, again on
Shout out
live.
Lil T. Shout out.
But man, I let her book the hotel, and she did a good job getting the flights, and the hotel was smooth, but it wasn't like a vacation for a week type hotel. It was a Best Western. It was about the same shade of blue as our banners right now. So it looked like it might have been converted from something else. But we get there, it's a live band outside. It's a bunch of families there because it's the holiday weekend. But we was
Dope.
close to Siesta Key where we wanted to be. But it's like three beaches. It's going crazy. Everybody and their mama down there can't park nowhere, bro. We mad. So we end up booking it somewhere else. Like the holiday already passed. The holiday already had passed, so people was kind of moving out of the city. So we ended up getting a better hotel with a rooftop bar and the whole nine
Oh yeah.
for cheap, because ain't nobody booking no hotels no more. The weekend just passed, so they ain't jacking the prices up. So we got lucky, and I got to watch uh game one on the rooftop downtown Sarasota.
That's love.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all though for holding it down again.
For sure.
What we got today, bro? What we got today?
Bro, well, first off, real quick, I had a crazy weekend, bro. Now, I have a huge family,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
a lot of which support this very pod. Appreciate all
Mm-hmm.
y'all. But
Shout
we
out
had
to
a
you.
family reunion this weekend. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event, all at my crib. So I'm rolling off about maybe 3, 4 hours of sleep. And I had to work this morning. So, hey, if I say something off the rails, do not hold it to me. All right? This episode don't count. All right, let's go. We good.
You good, bro? You good, bro? Try to get it together. But first up, man, let's just talk about it. We was talking about Florida. The Heat playing Florida. The Heat closed out the Celtics. They blew them out. I didn't get to say nothing. I didn't get to say nothing about it, but get in the comments and talk crazy because
Have,
I did originally pick the Celtics to win the series, but I wouldn't have got no credit if they won because y'all would have been like, "Oh, you flipped." But no, I ended up being
absolutely.
I ended up flipping at the end because I was like, I can't pick against this team again. Can't do
Mhm.
it. So they ended up closing out the Celtics. Woo woo. Um, and then man, we get to game one, and the Denver
No, before
has
that, before that, bro, because you missed what I think is an important conversation that is not
right here.
dated yet.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me real quick before we talk Denver Heat, because we got time today, right?
All
Only
right.
two games to talk about. Um, JB and Jason Tatum. Do
Yep,
you
yep,
think
yep.
this duo is the future of the Boston Celtics, or should they be split up like Mike said?
No, they should not be split up. They shouldn't be split up because I believe it's an overreaction when you lose, and this group, well, this duo, I should say, because I'm gonna throw Marcus Smart in there because he's been with him the whole time. But
Yeah,
if anything, I see him as the piece that gets moved. But I don't think you split them up. They had a lot of success young, like very young.
yeah.
So I'm not going. I'm not gonna hold them against them. It seemed like they've been playing forever, but these boys are still pretty young. They're not in their 30s yet. You know what I'm saying? They not like I don't even think they 20, 26, 27. You know what I'm saying?
I believe JB is 28.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he's about 28.
Yeah, I don't be knowing the ages. I know they always was talking about Jason Tatum being super young, but
Mm,
what have you. I don't think you split them up because where do you go from here unless you get something equal to or better than Jalen Brown? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And it's just you just got to face the fact that Jason Tatum is the big dog on his team, and that's just what it is. And you're gonna have to get more pieces. Like Jalen Brown is a number two. It's clear now he's the number two, and he like he getting too much responsibility for like Jason Tatum should be the one that's getting majority of the flack. But I think because certain people or certain crowds will like favor Jalen Brown over him, that he gets a lot of the flack.
yeah,
When we should be looking at Jason Tatum like, hey, bro, even if he playing bad, one of y'all got to pick it up. We seen it last night when Jamal Murray's playing bad and everybody else is playing bad. Jokic had to pick it up. You know what
fact,
I'm saying? He had to pick it up and drop 40. He stopped passing the ball. You seen him being way more aggressive. He's getting to the cup at a will.
exactly.
And Jason Tatum can have that type of effect on a game, but he just wouldn't do it. I think sometimes they rely too much on the three and he don't use. He's 6'8", bro. The dude built up. You know what I'm saying? He built like an
Yeah,
action figure, pause. But like get to the cup. If you ain't making them jumpers, he's steady shooting side step jumpers. I want to see you get to the rack.
yep,
But that's how I feel about it. I don't think they should get rid of Jalen Brown. They gotta keep him. Like what what are you gonna get from Jalen Brown that you'll get from anybody else or what they can get for him? Unless you don't want to pay him.
I'm not even gonna sit here and play devil's advocate with you. I think you're completely right. So yeah, I just wanted to hear your side of it, but I kind of think it's just a sign of the times we in right now, where everybody's in a win now mentality, and what Jason and Jalen have been doing these last 5 years has been really like one of the best historical runs that we've seen out of under 30 players. Nobody wins before they're 27. LeBron ain't win before he was 27. Jordan didn't. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it's gonna
No.
take time for Jason Tatum to reach his height. He's still growing. I feel like he can still get a lot better. And Jalen Brown, both of them could get a lot better. So yeah, I would never split them up at this point. It's too early. Way too early.
I'm still thinking like they had some type of thing going on, and I was with Taryn all week, so I had to talk
Yeah.
about it with her. And I'm like, well, Joe Mazzulla was in a situation where, hold on, think about it.
Hmm.
Think about if an assistant coach, you know what I'm saying? Let's say DD, who is at DU, he was our assistant coach. Let's say
Shout out
DD
Diddy, man. Shout out Diddy.
all of a sudden usurped Sparky and had to take us through a season. I'm not saying Joe Mazzulla is him, but you know what I'm saying? An
Yeah.
assistant coach. You know what I'm saying? He may have been beloved by certain groups of players, but that don't mean your star player liked him. That don't mean your quarterback liked him. That don't mean your point guard, your star forward liked him. You know what I'm saying?
And not even about liking him. That don't mean that he has the experience and the knowledge to succeed in that role for real.
I don't think he had to pull, to be quite honest. I don't think he had to pull.
He has some type of pull to get the job, but yeah, I don't think he had the pull to take them up to the level that they wanted to be at this point.
No, not at all. I'm just like, hey, this is a historic franchise. I don't think Ime should have been even fired. You know what I'm saying? If anything, take some
Free Ime.
disciplinaries. They shouldn't even have known. Nobody shouldn't even have known what he did to have to weigh in on this. It was a non-basketball thing. It was an HR thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should have put the boy. Should have did something else, man. Because you cost yourself your season at this point. Because
Yeah,
there should have been no statistical reason why the Celtics didn't wash the Heat and did what they did on that 3-game run the whole
yeah.
series. That's what I was expecting them to do the whole series. That's what they did to who they played before this. The
Sixers.
the Sixers. Yeah, they go on time for that. Just wash the Sixers. Like Harden had to drop like 40 points in and be out. Like people
I
have to do
mean,
crazy things.
but yeah, like that's the point though. It's like the Celtics were unmotivated, really. I won't even say they were unprepared, but I would
They
say they were
had bad
more
body language.
unmotivated. Yeah, exactly.
That one a team like me that, like, you know what I'm saying. In the other series, I don't know what it was, but in this series, it seemed like Miami snatched their heart out, and they were just like, you know what, whatever, whatever,
Hmm.
bro. Like I ain't really see no type of fight back. Feel me? Let's see what
Facts.
CeeLo say. They should have slapped a hefty fine and consultation for Ime and kept him as AC.
See, okay, let me talk. Let me get this narrative off. Because I wish Mike was here, Mister Neil Long, ruling the NBA. Think about it though. Brad Stevens was having a lot of issues getting this team to prominence and getting them over the hump. So he steps down. They move him up to the GM box, right, to the suite, and now he's making the decisions. He's pulling the strings. Ime has one incredible year and takes them boys right to the finals off rip with the exact same players that Brad Stevens has. Ime makes one little mistake, and Brad Stevens and the ownership group ship him out of town. So
Yeah,
yeah, I like that you just brought that up, CeeLo, because in a normal organization, they would have just fined him and whatever, gave him a consultation or whatever. But I feel like there's a little haterade flowing around in Boston.
some counseling, something. And
Yeah,
it shouldn't have made headlines. It should have been something that would have been floating around in the rumor mill, and we would
yeah,
have seen Nia Long not showing up to games anymore, something like that. And then we
right.
would have had to speculate, and then we would have been speculating. That's what it should have been. It should have been a speculation. But anywho, bro, if y'all in here, if y'all in the chat right now, I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe. Just before we move on, I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe, man. We want to start giving y'all more podcasts, and that help us give the podcast. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you a hay penny. You know what I'm saying? A Buffalo nickel, Canadian dime, none of that. For you to like and subscribe, or just subscribe, man. But anywho, let's get on to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
All right, dog. So this is small one because we can move on. We know it. Kyrie apparently is recruiting LeBron to your Dallas Mavericks.
Yes, he is. Do I have the floor?
You got the floor, man.
May I cook? Who is Kyrie to be recruiting anybody to Dallas? Kyrie's seat is not safe in Dallas. Kyrie's home is not safe in Dallas. In an aspect of him getting shipped out of town, not in a violent sense. Who does Kyrie think he is to invite Bron to Dallas? If anybody inviting Bron to Dallas, Luka is inviting Bron to Dallas. Mark Cuban is inviting Bron to Dallas, not Kyrie. Because the way I see it, Jalen Brunson should still be in Dallas and not Kyrie. The way I see it.
Exactly.
I know Jalen Brunson was out of our hands, and it wasn't like we traded Jalen Brunson for Kyrie. That's not what happened. Of course not. But
he had to get his bag.
I'm just saying, Kyrie, you were a rental in the first place. And on top of that, it didn't even work out. We lost my favorite 3-and-D player, Dorian Finney-Smith, and he was valuable to the way Luka wants to play basketball, right? We talk about the heliocentric offense where look at Jokic right now. Look at Brown in the past. Having that one dominant, ball handling guy who works the perimeter, finds guys, gets guys open through cuts, passing, playmaking, all that. Kyrie being there instead of Dorian Finney-Smith makes Dallas a zero threat on the defensive end, so we can't stop anybody. So we have to put up 140 points a game if we want to win. And on the offensive end, they're not even running two-man because Luka refuses to play in the post, which is fine. Maybe Luka will get there. Maybe not. I don't care about that right now. I would rather Luka keep progressing and becoming the player he's going to become without Kyrie trying to take the show in Dallas, bro. Like, what are you doing? We barely want you here, and you trying to recruit Bron here.
Yeah, bro. That's this. This nothing more than like a little fun headline, and because to me,
Yeah,
Brownie is going to be playing down the street, so
yeah.
It's not happening. It's not happening at all. I just wanted to let you harp on it, man, because I ain't
The
really have much to say
audacity.
about it. Was if anything, Kyrie is coming to the Lakers. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? If anything,
Exactly.
he going over there, and I'll let it see it, bro. But I'll let you get that narrative off. That
Hmm.
narrative was BS to me.
Yeah.
So, man, let's get on to the next topic.
We talking finals?
Talking finals, man.
Let's get it,
We're
man.
talking finals, man. And these Miami Heat just find a way to win these games. They find a way to win these games, man. Like, and they get it from a lot. Like, if one person is off, somebody steps up, and that's I think to play the cliche Heat culture. It's a real thing. We could just laugh and joke about it and say it's corny. You know what I'm saying? Gabe Vincent leading scorer, 23 points. CeeLo just called it out in the chat. Shout out to CeeLo again. 23 points, 23 important points. Because without that,
Mm,
it's looking tough for them boys, man.
eh.
But that game one, I wanted to touch about this. Denver has the most unfair home court advantage and makes their home court advantage something like no other place.
Yep.
Because for one, you're already tired from going to 7 game series with Boston. I get you blew them out the last game, but you still had to play 7 games. Get off a flight to Boston, straight to Denver. It ain't like you're going. That air is thin. You're tired. You know what I'm saying. You got game 7 legs
Yep.
coming in there, and these boys been chilling because they swept my Lakers,
Yep.
sadly. But hey, they got out there. They did what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Gordon was a little boy in small game, and then you know they did what they're supposed to do. Triple double by Jokic, standard. It's been the standard for Jamal. Another great game, and
Yeah.
they took them boys to the woodshed real quick, and then Miami bounces back. Game 2, they withstand the runs. Because Denver can go on them 20-0 runs, 20-10, 20. You know what I'm saying? They get points in bunches. They get on the break. Jokic pushing it, but there was clanking shots
Yeah.
and a subpar game from Jamal. I don't think we've seen him under 18 points, under 20 points this whole playoff, or we've not even seen him
Maybe
lose
once.
at home.
Nope.
But other than that, the quarters he was having, like against LA, he had a little spurt, but they needed that a little bit earlier than that to get the
Yeah.
job done. They needed that Jamal a little bit earlier than that. And that last shot he shot, I thought that was going in as well. I
Yeah. Me
thought that was
too.
going in as well because he's been making them all series. So I think the Heat had a little bit of luck and it was a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? They got it from the right guys. Pause at the right time. Duncan Robinson, you know what I'm saying? He played out of his body. He actually put the ball on the floor, which he's been doing a better job at in these playoffs. I
To the
think some of
cup.
them. I think Jordan Poole and Nick Stauskas might have texted bro and said, "Hey, all that shooting,
Yeah.
you gonna have to scoot."
Facts.
They was over pursuing him. They was over pursuing him, and he made them pay for it. You know what I'm saying? The threat of a jump shot will always be your best offense. So yeah, man, I'm gonna let you take off on this one.
I mean, you hit it pretty well, right? So let me just start back in game one. Um, it went exactly as we expected, right? On the pod, if y'all listen to the last episode, y'all see I predicted a 10 or 11 point win by Denver, not because they're that much better, but simply because of the circumstances, right? Miami coming straight from Boston after a long series, Denver been chilling. It played out exactly like we expected. Now, looking back, hindsight is 2020 because I wish I would have sat up here and said what I believed the whole time, which was if Miami's going to win a game in this series, which I think they won the only game they're going to win in this series, I wish I would have told y'all that it was going to be game 2. How did I know it would be game 2? Because if you look at all these other series, how they all played out, if you got two teams that are similar, even if they're not similarly matched up, right? It's always more often than not, probably this is going off the top of my head, probably 70% of the time, the series are 1-1, bro. You usually split the first two when it's two good coaches going at it, two good teams going at it. And I just felt like Spoelstra knew that game one was basically a throwaway, and he was going to put all his chips in the game two basket, and that's what we saw, because they played a completely different style of basketball, a completely different brand. This is why I like the Heat so much, and I'm wearing my Heat red, is because we said they're versatile in the way they can attack you, right? You never know where it's going to come from, and it's not always just Jimmy get 40, fill in the blanks. It's not that. And last night, it was Duncan Robinson with 10 points all in the fourth quarter that closed that game out basically for the Heat and allowed them to get that dub.
I also thought I got a couple things.
Ahead.
I'm gonna touch on what Caleb said. Caleb Martin is actually sick, and it seemed like he having some type of flu-like symptoms. They're saying it's not COVID, but bro was sick. He did have a clutch three, but I also think the chess move by him, what you know what I'm saying, he had, because I think Eric Spoelstra the first game went, all right, I'm gonna try and get as much offense on the floor as I can, and then the next game he went, I'm gonna try and get as much defense on the floor as I can to match up better, because Jokic, he let him bang with Kevin Love in that first quarter to start the game out, and Kevin Love is a good defensive player, smart, got that veteran. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take the charge. He gonna try and win the game in more than one way other than like scoring and rebounding. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try and do it all for you. But I think that was a chess move.
It definitely was. I think
it was a forced one.
You basically have two options when you wanna beat Denver, right? You're gonna let Jokic pass and play make and force the role players around Jokic to beat you, and maybe they will, and Jokic will have 12 to 13 assists, or you take away those passing lanes to the best of your ability, and you make Jokic go eat. You test his appetite. How many do you really want to get tonight? Are you willing to go for 50? Because if you are, that's the way we would like to play. That's how Phoenix snuck one. Jokic's highest scoring game in the playoff. What happened?
Phoenix.
They lost to Phoenix. Jock Landale out there balling because Jokic has to go to the cup and get tired, bro.
He slowed him down. I think Jock Landale played with a little bit more force than Cody Zeller did last night, because Cody Zeller got put in the blender.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He was out there looking hopeless. Jokic looking like he playing on a little tight rim. Flags in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Checker flags in the chat. We got Taryn in the chat saying,
shout out Sauce.
Where was Porter? He was bricking. Michael never swing the rock. Porter was shooting the ball as he should, but he was missing the shots. He was missing the shots, man. And you know what I'm saying? I don't really got nothing else to say about that. You know what I'm saying, Taryn? I'll throw it up there, but you know what I'm saying? He just missed the shots. Shooters have nights like that. We seen Strus do it in game one where he was trash, and then the next game he make 4 in the first quarter. So I think Michael Porter would be just fine. He's a shooter. He's gonna keep shooting the ball, but he did play like cheeks the other night.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of a rhythm thing with a guy like Porter too, right? Like them taking so much time off, it's not going to bother Jokic or Murray so much because they're playmakers, right? They're able to put the ball on the ground and get their own shots. Michael Porter does not do that. He can't create for himself. So
he'll create a step back three, contested three.
And it's basic. Most of the time, it's a useless step back. Like he could have just pump fake and
just pull it up,
or just pull it. So that's him. That's his bag. That's the extent of his bag, is creating a step back three for himself. So a guy like that, they're going to be streaky. It reminds me of a younger Klay Thompson before Klay was, all-time Klay. That's Michael Porter's play style before Klay realized how to really utilize that midi and get to the cup too. So, yep, that's how I be. Streaky guys.
It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Shooters have nights like that. But
yeah,
you got anything else on the series so far before I move on?
Just a shout out to Eric Spoelstra getting them boys ready. It was a crazy game because it flip flopped wildly. Like, the Heat go up big early, right? It looks like Denver has no life, and then my boy Jamal comes down bangs, gets an and one, and Strus follows him with a dumb foul. He comes down again and scores another midi on the next possession, right? So then Denver
Yeah.
takes all the momentum. They carried that basically for the entire game until the fourth quarter. The third was kind of going back and forth. That's when the Heat came out of halftime and cut into it, but they never really regained that lead until the fourth, and that's when Duncan took off. So yeah, I mean, it was a great game, great back and forth battle. I'm excited for Game 3 back in Miami.
Yeah, but I had one little narrative while we was on Denver because I
Mm-hmm.
said this. I said this in the past pod, and I've been telling people who talk hoops with me. Steve Kerr said Murray's the head of the snake, not Jokic. And while head of the snake is kind of like a wild term, I said Jamal Murray's the most important player on the Nuggets, not named Jokic, because yes, bro he's the MVP, triple double machine, this and that. But the team goes as Jamal goes because he can go on them crazy runs by himself
Yeah.
and get them boys over the hump. We seen him when he was not there. Jokic had MVP seasons, but no success. And this leads me into my next narrative where I believe basketball is not the ultimate team sport because guys can, we see great individual seasons, we see great individual runs. We've seen it all over the playoffs. We've seen it all season throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
But you need guys around you. LeBron, Jordan. You want who else we going to talk about? Curry,
Kobe.
KD, Kyrie, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? All these champions, Tim Duncan, great players. Magic Johnson, Kareem. They needed each other.
Yeah.
And we've not seen at the end of the final a team that wasn't a great team win it. You don't win by accident. That's why you rarely see MVPs win. And I hate it when people say like a basketball player is a player can take over because if that was the case, the Lakers would have won that last game 4, because LeBron had
Right.
30 in the first half. It's not the case.
Right.
It's not the case, man.
And Denver would have won last night.
And Denver would have won last night because Jokic lost his mind. But
Yeah.
it's not the case. The Heat, you got 5 against 1. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's a team sport. It's not boxing. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's my last little narrative.
that's the head of the snake thing. I don't even know what that even means. I have no clue what that means. But I will say, if Nikola was not here and it was just Jamal's show, they would not be here. They wouldn't be in the finals right now.
No, he'd be like,
that's
no.
you. Yeah, you just laid that out so perfectly. So it's like head of the snake or not, whatever that means, bro. It's a 1-2 punch, and Jokic is the one. It's as simple as that to me.
He's the one. He's the
He's the
one.
one.
But you need
You need the two. You need the
other
two.
one.
You need it. Yes.
You need the other one.
Yeah.
LeBron had Kyrie. Jordan had Pippen, which
Yep.
leads me into this story that y'all didn't talk about, which I was surprised. Scottie Pippen says Jordan was a terrible teammate and he didn't know how to win. He was just getting scorer titles, just like how we just talked about.
Yeah.
These great players before they had that 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That help. They ain't produce. They ain't get no championships. They ain't win. Which is true. I wouldn't say Jordan was a terrible teammate. He was just doing what he was asked to do, and he was being the player he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great scorer, and they needed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to compare guys, like, you know what I'm saying? When LeBron was the guy in Cleveland, he scored the points. Luka's the guy in Dallas. He scores the points. You know what I'm saying? Jason Tatum scores the points. James Harden, when he was in Houston, he scored the points. KD in OKC. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So for the guy who was the primary scorer, you know what I'm saying? You could say that for anybody.
Though. You
Shai just did the same thing this year.
I was about to say, you just named a lot of good teams, though. I think that was what Scottie was getting at, is that the Bulls were not a good team at that point before he got there. Now, Scottie is absurd, and he's obviously salty and butthurt about the situation with little MJJ dating his ex-wife, right? But Scottie has half of a point. If you want to eat the chicken and spit the bones out, MJ wasn't terrible, but he wasn't a complete player, right? He was an elite scorer, like you said, and what he did was bring life into that franchise and into that city. He ignited the fire, and he just needed help around him to fully complete it and become the best version of themselves. So I wouldn't say he was terrible, but of course he was young at the time. He was not fully formed yet. But
No,
terrible, calling him terrible is a little bit wild. A little
I
out
don't think it
of
was terrible. I think Jordan get this thing where like he was tough on people. Like you hear
yeah,
with the Kwame Brown story, like he was tough on Kwame, but like it's a different generation and people take to that differently. I would have liked to have Jordan as a teammate or have guys with that type of attitude, like because Jordan and Kobe got that same type of attitude. People who care about winning and gonna hold people accountable. I want that type of player. I want to play with him because I know he want to win just as bad as I want to win, and he crazy about winning just like I'm crazy about winning. And
yeah.
that's why when they got the right guys around and they took to the leadership and his leadership style, whether they liked it or not, they won.
Mm-hmm.
So wasn't nobody hearing nothing about that when he was winning them championships or when you talk about them championships. We hear
Right.
it in the documentary what type of competitor he was. Now I'll run through a wall for that dude. We talk about coaches, but like I got a teammate like that, I'll run through a wall right with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a brick wall right there. He said we're gonna get through it if we run full speed. Just put your head down. All right.
Say less.
Say less. So for him to say that, yeah, I think it was a little bit of saltiness. He
Yeah.
had he had like a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying? But that's how it is, bro. When you gotta jack shots on a bad team, bro. He was in the
Yeah.
lottery for a reason.
Right.
the Bulls was in the lottery for a reason. That was a bad team. He had to do
Mm-hmm.
what he had to do. So he got a little bit of a point, but they didn't win till they was together. And like I said right before that, they had to do it together.
Yes.
They needed each other, just like Jokic and Murray and Kobe and Shaq. They needed each other.
Simple.
But yeah, man, let's get let's get into some more like tiny bit of drama.
Uh-oh.
Shannon is leaving FS1 after the NBA Finals. That's what's rumored to happen.
Okay.
He's leaving FS1 now. Let me know your thoughts on it, man. Let me know.
I mean,
Is he right? Would you like to see him stay in the perfect world? Like what's going on with that?
okay, so what Shannon has done post career, it's been fantastic. Like he brought a whole different type of swagger and flavor to that type of television, to debate TV.
He pushed it
And
to the boundaries for sure.
he definitely pushed it to the limits. And Fox gave him the leeway to really go crazy, right? They let him build his brand and become who he is now in the media space. Um, but I also kind of think like, is Skip Bayless the best guy to be paired with a guy like Shannon Sharp at this point? Like, is that gonna be the guy opposite of him that's gonna bring the best out of him? Like Skip and Stephen A back in the day when they was in their primes going at it.
Mm-hmm.
They were perfect. They were a perfect 1-2 punch, right? I,
Mm-hmm.
the Skip and Shannon dynamic duo is kind of getting watered down, played out. Club Shay Shay bussing. He got the podcast bussing, right? But
Yeah.
that dynamic is kind of getting played out a little bit. Um, so I'm not mad at him for moving on if that is what he decides to do. But
I feel like because I think him and Stephen A worked so well because they was both journalists.
yes,
So and like Shannon, like me when we sit across and Skip Bayless say something crazy,
hmm
we're looking at our TV screen. That's Skip Bayless tweeting crazy stuff and going crazy about the Cowboys and talking about how, you know what I'm saying. If he had to choose his job, he told Ernestine the first day he met her that his job always gonna come first. Like that's
yeah,
what type of dude he is, and like I feel like that's how you gotta in such a competitive field like the sports media thing. Like we entering it right now. It's a lot of competition out there, man. And he basically invented that format, and I think sometimes Shannon being the player comes out sometimes, like just like about the Tom Brady debate thing, him saying Tom Brady was better than him. He couldn't
yep,
say that to Stephen A because Stephen A a journalist. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Stephen A could say, "Oh, Tom Brady had a better career." You can be like, he can't say it. It'll never happen. He can't say it. But even when
Right.
he's sitting across from an athlete, he could poke at you because you're an athlete and question your career. He can question all that about you. So
Facts.
he tried to remix it with an athlete. I think he gonna have to do another journalist. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no,
You have
I
to
think
find somebody else.
so. For Skip, I think it was smart, right?
Yeah.
To try to pair up with Shannon. I think it was a smart move for Skip. But for Shannon, it was also good at the time. But they've been together what 7 years?
Yeah, it was a long. It's a
It's a
lengthy
long time,
run. It
bro.
felt like it went that long ago but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it hit right on time. Like what they got together basically right when we was getting out of high school. So it was the new fresh thing post high
yeah.
school. But yeah,
Shannon had a lot more antics when he was coming out. That's where you see a lot of the yak and
yeah,
the Black and Miles and the do rags and the Goat James. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? He was pushing the boundaries, splashing on the scene. He was taking some risks a lot of people wasn't taking. So shout out to the you know what I'm saying the GOAT, the legend tight end,
for
Shannon
sure.
Sharp. Yeah, so he did his thing for sure. And like you said, he gonna be just fine. Somebody gonna try and cop club shake the rights to that or get a deal with
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? He probably gonna do his own thing. So shout out to bro. I think it was the right move for him to go do his own thing.
Yep,
Nothing can last forever. And we gonna have to need to see something new. We got to see something new, man.
definitely.
Now I got a small story from ESPN. Shout out to these guys. They going to the College Football Hall of Fame. Mike Vick, Larry Fitzgerald, and Terrell Suggs.
Okay.
All eligible this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So shout out to them boys, dogs in college, dogs in the league.
Shout out Mike Vick too, bro, because he's probably the only one I really seen his highlights in college, right? It was Mike Vick at Virginia Tech, and then Marcus
Mm-hmm.
Vick came there after him. And I
He was
remember
cold
watching
too.
Marcus live, but I remember all the Mike Vick v Tech highlights. That was crazy. Larry Fitz,
Mm-hmm.
where'd he go? He went to Pitt, right?
Pitt, Pitt,
Yeah.
Pitt
See,
guy.
I haven't seen him play in college. Same with Suggs. Haven't seen him play in college, but all of those dudes were legends in the NFL. So it sounds like it was, much deserved. And shout out my
Mm-hmm.
boy Mike Vick, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now I got to stir the pot a little bit. It's because you know what I'm saying. How concerned are you with Dak at this point in his career? As a Cowboys fan, I gotta ask you, bro. You got a Jalen Hurts in your
Yeah,
conference who just went to a Super Bowl and made vast improvements and is regarded as a better player 5 years his to a guy 5 years his senior who's been a fixture in his league.
this is true. Yeah. Um.
Is there a
So
timetable on Dak?
I can't believe you blindside me with Dak talk. I'll say this. I'll say this. As long as Big Mike is the coach in Dallas, the Cowboys will not win a Super Bowl because of him, because of Mike, I'm talking about. They will have to win one in spite of him, like Aaron Rodgers did. Aaron Rodgers was an exceptionally talented quarterback who could think on his own, who could read the field at an elite level. Dak is a highly talented quarterback who is one of the best we've ever seen pre-snap, reading the field. He's a good processor of what he's seeing, very fast, very accurate guy. He's going to have to go to another level. Like you said, Jalen Hurts and all those guys are at. Dak is a little bit more of a throwback than those type of guys, right? He's never gonna look like like Jalen Hurts looks or like Patrick
Barring the
Mahomes.
injury, he was past that.
He's past that. So he's gonna have to do it being the general in the pocket and occasionally killing with your legs like A-Rod do. Now, if we happen to move on from Big Mike, if we happen to move on from him, I will be happy. And I think we have the talent in Dallas and we keep the talent coming in and rolling through Dallas to get to a Super Bowl. And Dak is good enough to win us one. He definitely is. You can't tell me he's not. I won't take it.
Here's what I got to say about Dak, man, because I do think he's a good talent, and some of his picks may or may not be his fault, but to the
Mhm.
naked eye, he threw the pick. So I think that's his biggest problem is the risk takering.
Are you talking about just this last season?
I'm talking about some of the times where it's like,
Because
all
that's
right,
not
bro.
something that has hampered him his whole career. It was really just last
I
year,
know
right?
it hasn't. It was last year, and I feel like because it's just certain things where you know what I'm saying. He might have been taking a couple bites bigger than he could chew on
Yeah,
certain plays. Some of them might not have been his fault, and he had the injury where he had to sit out and the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
broke his thumb. Yep.
Trying to get back and show people who he is. But I think Dak is a good quarterback, and he just get a lot of flack because he played for the Dallas Cowboys. If he is anybody else, I feel like right now at this point in his career, he kind of in that Matthew Stafford type range where you know what I'm saying. He's had more success in Dallas. You know what I'm saying, but
Absolutely.
just two playoff victories. So I think Dak may need a change of scenery, bro. I think Dak may need a change of scenery. I know you don't want to hear it because that's your QB, but
I don't.
I think he need to go. So I think he need to go somewhere else. I don't know where that may be, but he need to go to a different team where that the eyes is not on him 24/7 because he on America's team.
Are you saying Dak is a folder? Is that what I'm hearing? You say Dak folds because the lights are too bright in Dallas. Is that what I'm
I'm
hearing?
saying Dak folding, man. I'm saying
Oh
Dak
wow.
folding. I think he got a little foldery in him. I think he need to go to a small market.
Okay.
I think you need to go to a small market or go to a team, you know what I'm saying, where he ain't got to do too much. That they got a lot of stuff. They got everything else figured out to him, like kind of like how Tom Brady went to Tampa, or like Matthew Stafford, like I just said, went to LA and had everything else. Like I feel like if he went to a place, if he was in a place like Seattle, he'd be a beloved quarterback right now.
They'd love Dak in Seattle. Yes. The whole nation would love Dak if he was in Seattle.
If he was in Seattle,
If he
nobody
was in
would care.
Detroit, everybody would love Dak.
With that,
Th-
they
Can
love
you
that.
imagine the numbers he would put up in Detroit? It would be insane. But
Yeah.
what people also have to realize is they see the star on the helmet, and that star makes stars. But what you have to realize is the Dallas receiving core is not that talented. It has not been for a while. They've been trying to piece it together and put it together ever since Amari Cooper left. But even when Amari was there, CD was a rookie who was running the wrong routes, right?
Mhm.
He had drop issues as a rookie. He couldn't be dependable over the middle. He was 120 pounds. So Dak has to have sufficient weapons to win. He's not Mahomes. He's not Brady. He's not going to make a
But I say
receiver.
even I think like because I was gonna say Mahomes, but I think to Travis Kelsey, and you know what I'm saying Tyreek Hill may have left, but
Mhm.
he always had Travis Kelsey this whole
Facts.
time. So we haven't seen him without Travis Kelsey. And I say some of the great guys elevate other receivers around him. And later he did get a couple guys to Patrick Mahomes brought him along, but
Yep.
this is where it's like what's up with the leadership where we can get these receivers right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Cowboys let the wrong folks go in
Absolutely.
the receiver room. Like I like Cedric Wilson and Amari Cooper.
Facts.
Like them was the guys to keep. I even like Michael Gallup, but he had some injuries. You know what I'm
He ain't
saying?
stay
So it
healthy.
seemed it seemed like you should have let Michael Gallup go and kept you know what I'm saying kept Cub. But it is what it is. But I just had to mess with you about the Cowboys, man. 'Cause
I'm here for it, man.
I seen
Stay
I
ready.
seen Stephen A. snapping about it, so I was like, man, let me ask Chaz what he think about is Dak days numbered?
What did
Or
Stephen A say?
he was just going off about like how basically Jalen Hurts took like a enormous step forward, which is going to the Super Bowl, which we don't really see a lot. I seen it recently with him with Joey B and then him, second years guys getting to the bowl, doing the whole doing the
They
whole
acting like
thing, doing it
football is a
up.
one man sport, bro. Look at the Philly roster, bro. That's what makes me mad. All right, let's
It's
just move
it's
on.
not it's not. They got
Let's
superior
move on,
coaching and all the
please.
whole line. We can go into depth about it all day, but
Yeah, I can talk an hour about it.
yeah, man. Another interesting development that I saw that I want to harp on that might leave the Raiders hanging in the QB room is if Jimmy G doesn't pass his physical, they can cut him.
Yep.
They can cut him. So I'm like, well, who are you gonna play? Well, who was bro that was starting last year? He was like the Auburn quarterback some years
Stidham.
ago.
Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham. You gonna play Jared Stidham? Is that what I'm hearing? You gonna have Jared Stidham throwing to Devontae Adams?
McDaniels
Yeah,
might, bro. Josh McDaniel might. But
that's
you missing the point, bro. Do you not see what's happening? They're opening the door for Tom Brady to come in.
Tom Brady said he's not playing no more, bro.
I know, and I don't think he is either. But I can't imagine a world without Tom Brady playing in the NFL, and I don't think Tom can either at this point. He just recently bought into the Raiders organization, so he's now a partial owner. We have not discussed that yet on this show.
So you think he's gonna pull a MJ?
Does he become the first owner player in the NFL something we have not seen since MJ at the Wizards?
You think he's gonna pull a Michael Jordan on these boys?
What's up? It's MJ and it's Tom Brady. If anybody gonna do it, why not? Why not Tom, man? Are you ready? Are you really ready to watch the league this year without Tom?
I kind of am, bro.
I kind of am too. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see him in the AFC battling with all those young AFC quarterbacks that we have discussed at length.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of fun, bro.
Boys. Yeah. I don't know. The first year in the AFC South, it was looking hairy for him against the Saints. So you really want to step into that smoke in the West.
You talking about when he beat him in the playoffs?
Yeah, I know you beat him in the playoffs, but you know what I'm saying. It was you know what the narrative was that year.
I know.
He
got blew out.
He was pick six in it and all that, getting blew out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's crazy narrative. I'm like, you brought Jimmy G in. You got Devontae Adams, arguably the best, in my eyes, he's the best receiver in the league, but
he up there
with no real quarter. You got questions about the quarterback coming up, but I got to play devil's advocate since we over in the West. About my boys, do you start Brock Purdy if he's healthy, or you just roll with Trey Lance?
So, are you asking me as a Cowboys fan?
I'm asking you,
who has watched this from a distance, who has studied both Brock and Trey. I think it's pretty easy that you start Trey Lance, right? Like, how much did the Niners give up to get Trey Lance?
A lot, bro.
A lot.
I don't think they should have.
And
was that the Justin Fields draft?
That was the Fields draft, yes.
Man, we could have had Justin Fields, bro.
Y'all could have stayed where y'all were and got Justin Fields.
That's what I'm saying.
And y'all traded all the way up to 3 for Trey.
No, I'm mad all the way over.
Trey's got to play. I have not seen him play yet, bro. What's going on? We seen him play one game in Chicago where they lost. It was a monsoon.
Mm-hmm.
There was rain everywhere. The field was flooded. I can't count that. And then he comes and breaks his leg in the next game. So I got to see Trey play because one thing I do know is that Shanahan is going to get the most out of his quarterbacks. If Trey is remotely competent, a guy that size with that speed and that arm talent in a Shanahan offense, he should be a problem in this league for years. So Shanahan has put so much on the table for him. You got to figure it out. You got to make it work because you can find another Brock Purdy, in a 6th, 7th round.
You can.
But listen, let me finish because I'm talking about value in contract-wise, right? In the 6th round, you can find another Brock Purdy. You can't get that number 3 overall pick back, bro, and the other draft pick that they traded to get to that spot. So you got
a hell of a backup
with Trey. You got to at least see what you got.
So we got I'm a start Trey just to. Nah, I'm a cut the suspense, start Trey, but heck of a backup in Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to bro doing his thing, but we also got the boy Sam Darnold, who was a starter. So I'm like, you got two starters, used to be starters as backups. I think that you could plug Darnold in and you won't do nothing wrong. He could probably run it just fine. But
Yeah, I think he's a clear third
I
option
say they just roll with Cuz and let him do his thing.
for sure.
That I wanted to pick your brain about it, and then I'm gonna move on to these rookies.
Yep.
Give me your offensive rookie of the year. Way too early right now.
Ooh. Going off the top of the dome, I'm gonna say, would it be wild to say anybody other than a quarterback? Because I kind of want to go Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think isn't that? I mean, it's a quarterback, right? So he's automatically going to have a better shot at it. He's going to be starting for sure. He don't got to beat nobody out. He has competent coaching down there with Frank Reich. I think his numbers will be good playing in the NFC South.
Who's his receivers again?
You really asking me? Like I watch Carolina football. Terrace Marshall.
I was gonna say Terrace Marshall.
Chenault Jr. Those are the only two I can name because they lost DJ Moore. I can name two. That's it.
Yeah,
but
that's one thing. It might be a little bit more tough for him. But he got Miles Sanders to toss the rock to, hand the ball up to.
True.
If he pass it to him. But mine was gonna be a receiver because receivers have been dominating as of late.
Got to be Addison
in the league. I was gonna say Addison because the conference of love, a little in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little in. But we got improved defensive backfields in that conference as well. So he might have to do it. He might have to do it in the out of conference. But between him, JSN, and Addison, I think it's gonna be a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And just because JSN gonna be fighting for
target,
JSN gonna be fighting for target between Tyler Lockett and DK.
Yeah,
ex JSN. So you got Zay Flowers. He gonna be fighting for targets between. He gonna be on the field, but I'm saying you're gonna still have Rashad Bateman on the field. You're still gonna have Mark Andrews on the field. You're still gonna have Odell on the field. So I don't think he has the crazy production. We seen Garrett Wilson eat because you know what I'm saying. Who is bro from Ole Miss who ain't really I can't think of his name. His name Moore. It was Moore.
Oh, Elijah
Moore. So they was having trouble with Elijah Moore. So you know what I'm saying? Bumped him over. And then they had the injury to the running back boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Damn. So like I'm saying, I'm leaning at Addison now. Now I had to do some process of elimination with these guys. And I'm thinking Addison gonna step in. CeeLo pointed out in the chat. He said Adam Thielen. He's replacing Adam Thielen.
No, he's saying that's Carolina's receiving core.
Yeah, I know he's Carolina. I know he's Carolina. That's Carolina receiver now, but he's replacing Adam Thielen, and because he's the boy gonna be double teamed. We seen the boy. I can't think of the other receiver the Vikings had. He was Osborne.
Yep.
I think he probably get the nod over Osborne as far as like I think Addison is more refined route runner.
Yep.
So while JJ is getting that heat, I think Addison gonna eat. And Kirk gonna find him after a good Sunday service, 1 p.m., 4 p.m. slot. We're gonna be seeing Addison and JJ pretty into the end zone. So that's my offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. All right. So if I'm not taking a quarterback because I want to have some fun here, give me Jahmyr Gibbs.
Gibbs can do it as well.
We had a very intriguing discussion earlier about rookie receiving leader this year, and it's crazy that a running back is honestly not that bad of an option, right? Like I'd never pick it, right? I still think Addison would have more. JSN would have more receiving yards. I want to say Quentin Johnson will probably have more receiving yards. I think Luke Schoonmaker will have more receiving yards. Kincaid will have more, right? But to be in that top 5 receiving yards for rookies as a running back, that's going to put you in playmaking territory and a playmaking conversation. So if Detroit, like the reports have come out of Detroit's rookie minicamp, moves Jahmyr Gibbs around, they put him in a slot, they put him at running back, they spread him out wide and empty, and they let him cook and get in one-on-ones on linebackers or safeties.
He gonna eat.
He gonna eat. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is honestly a pretty good candidate for offensive rookie of the year. Dude.
I think he could definitely do it if I'm not doing it. I don't think a quarterback gonna get it. I think C.J. Stroud might have a harder time.
Yep.
And then Anthony Richardson, he a dark horse for me. But Jahmyr Gibbs, if I'm not picking a receiver, he's the guy. He's the guy for me because I'm gonna still CeeLo point because he's not in here to say it himself, but he can have an Alvin Kamara type year with his catching ability and his speed.
Yeah.
And just because of all the other weapons Detroit got, he can get in the open space. He's going to have a lot of room to work. And with him getting carries and catches, he's going to have his stats padded. And you know what Detroit like to do in the red zone, hand the rock off. I think them carries might go to the boy they just brought in. David Montgomery. Them carries might go to him or the other guy that got Craig. But
hey, let's stay in the South for a second, real quick. So, since you were talking about Alvin Kamara and the Saints, I was thinking about the South. And what about the guy who was the first skill player drafted this year in Bijan Robinson down in Atlanta? What type of rookie year do you see him having in this offense with what's his name? Kid
Desmond
from
Ridder?
Cincinnati?
Desmond Ridder.
Talk to me.
I think he could have a good year, but it's probably going to be empty calories. And you know what I'm saying? Atlanta not going to have it. And it's more media votes on these things, right? So I think just because they might not win a lot of games, because you know what I'm saying? The Jets was a playoff on the cusp of the playoffs.
Yep.
And they was a hot team, and they had these rookies and a great defense, and they had a lot of buzz around them. So while I think he can get it, he may get snubbed even if he is close, just because I don't think Atlanta is really going to be that relevant. I don't know. They might do something. You know, we've seen crazy things happen, but I don't think they're going to be that. I don't think they're going to be that relevant because he's going to be out and he's going to be having to get the team put on his back. He's going to get his catches and his yards too. He probably going to be all rookie, but offensive rookie of the year, you're going to have some gaudy numbers. And the Desmond Ridder going to get him the ball. Is he? You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to hand it off to him so much.
You just changed my mind, bro, because what you just laid out is a team with weapons everywhere, with a coach that loves to pound the pill, the guy who got Derrick Henry all his glory in Tennessee. Now I'm starting to think Bijan might get 30 carries a game, bro, if they got a quarterback they can't trust. So Bijan might run away with offensive rookie of the year.
For running backs, is either because him and Jahmyr Gibbs got a similar type of game. Bijan, the more physical built runner, more of a running back type build. So
Jahmyr's in a better situation for sure.
I'm gonna pull a homer card and say Jahmyr Gibbs might, because Detroit, like I said, they're a social media team right now.
Yeah,
they hot. The media on them, which I don't really like because I was like, I ain't care about Detroit all these other years. Except for us, we had to watch Detroit every Sunday. Mike just said Bijan got it covered. He's a running back though, so we can't really trust dog.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, they're not bad picks.
Not bad picks at all.
Not bad picks at all. I also see Bijan having a similar season to K9. K9 was a dog in Seattle too.
K9 had a great rookie season. He did.
But he didn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of guys could have good years. A lot of guys could have good years because who else had a good year? When you want to think about it, shit, I can't.
Rookies.
It's
tough, bro. Off the top of the head, I can't think of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of dudes because I'm thinking K9. Who else came in? K9. And then we had Brees until he got
Oh
hurt.
yeah, Brees got hurt. Brees
We
is
had
going off.
Wilson. We had Wilson. Garrett Wilson went crazy. But yeah, man.
Yep.
Let me help myself out.
We
Look
got
up
some
to
fun. We got a fun rookie class this year. That's what we were talking about earlier. There's talent everywhere right now. Receiver, tight end, best tight end draft I've seen in years.
Oh,
And
Chris Olave, dog. We've got Chris Olave. Damian Pierce, he didn't have a year like Kenneth Walker had, but he was a good
no,
rookie running back. Garrett Wilson was good. Brock Purdy was good, but he came on late.
yeah, I mean, bro
I mean,
from the Texans. Come on, CeeLo, you're 2 minutes too late, bro.
Kenny Pickett was he didn't have a better year than those guys, but he did better than I think. Christian Watson came on. He was a late bloomer in the year.
Yeah, no.
Brian Robinson, he you know what I'm saying, he
Yeah.
came back from being shot, so he came on late.
Yeah.
George Pickens was one of my favorite rookies to watch. I thought he was gonna be good.
Facts. But he's another one that came on late though, too, like just with the quarterback situation.
Yeah, he had different quarterbacks throwing it to him. Him and Kenny Pickett already got that chemistry, so that's gonna be fun to watch. Yeah, I did say Priest, I did say Pierce and Olave, Mike and Caleb, but you know what I'm saying. These all guys. Drake London had a good year. You know what I'm saying. Isaiah Pacheco came on late. Brees Hall got hurt.
Yeah.
Them was all dudes. Them was all dudes that had good years, but they ain't. But Garrett Wilson was the number one in New York.
He really was too. So I mean, if you look at the whole picture, Wilson put the whole thing together. So I think he deserved it for sure. And I can see Jahmyr Gibbs having that type of year in Detroit. They finally put it all together. Maybe they make a playoff appearance, and Jahmyr's their do-it-all Swiss Army knife. Maybe he returning punts too. What? Come on, bro. Detroit rocking, man. It's possible.
They drafted him that high. He gonna have some high usage.
Yeah.
The Swift is gone. Obviously, you know, other bro gone. I can't think of his name right now. It's slipping me because I'm reading all these names off. But dang, I don't know why his name.
Who you talking about? Reynolds.
Oh yeah, he was good.
We're talking about Lions running backs.
Lions running backs. He just went to the Saints. I don't know what I think.
Jamal
Williams. But it's the most random. That's the most random black dude name ever. And I'm just naming off all these names. But yeah, Jamal Williams, bro. He gone. Yeah. So they bringing in all new. It's basically gonna be a brand new backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem like they handed the keys to bro. You're gonna have a rookie receiver. Well, not your rookie receiver. Your pass, Jameson Williams out 6 games. So somebody will have to catch some extra passes.
Yep.
Yeah, but all of these is. He said if we get D-Hop, Gibbs is a lot. Shit, D-Hop getting them catches. I mean, Gibbs catches going down.
D-Hop is not coming to Detroit, bro. Don't even get your hopes up.
Yeah, I ain't with that narrative.
Not entertaining that.
We got defensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year, man.
Oh, okay. I actually kind of like this one. There's a few options, but I think there's one that's just a perfect fit. I think it's your boy from the Ducks, Christian Gonzalez. I think it's Christian Gonzalez playing in that Belichick defense, bro.
Yeah.
I would love
He a dog athlete. I wanted him in Detroit, man. In Detroit, man.
Oh, Mike said Devon Witherspoon in Seattle. I think that's a great one too, because if Seattle has a good year and that defense looking anything like the Legion of Boom, everybody gonna be trying to call it the Legion 2.0 because they got Woolen out there looking like a prime Richard Sherman with way more speed.
Faster Richard Sherman.
Yeah, exactly. And then Witherspoon played opposite of him. So I do like that one, Mike. That's a good one. But yeah,
he might eat off that. Bro. Christian Gonzalez is going to be opposite of Jack Jones, who was a good rookie last year.
Well, won't Jack be in the slot, and then Jonathan Jones will be outside on the other side? I'm thinking.
Either way it go. I don't think he's going to be play side unless he is probably the best athlete they got.
Right, he's going to be a man corner. He's going to be in that bump and run Gilmore role. I'm thinking.
or you know what I'm saying, even Asante Samuel, they put him on the opposite. They put him on the opposite side. You know what I'm saying? Well, he was always on the strong side of the quarterback throwing arm, so they always gonna look to his side. So I think he's gonna be on that side. So right arm quarterback, he's gonna be on the left side.
Yeah,
They're just gonna keep him on the left side.
I'm with it.
That matchup, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm a little dyslexic.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, dog. So first read, if it ain't there, he's gonna be throwing it that way. I'm going generic and roll with Will Anderson. But you gotta have this my thing with defensive ends.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get a ton of sacks,
you
low key cook. Like, and even what's the boy we just had? Aiden Hutchinson last year.
Yeah.
He had to damn near lead everybody in picks to get it. They were still questioning him up against Tariq Woolen and these other guys and Brisker and all these other dudes. So I'm saying though, I think I'm with you with Christian Gonzalez.
Straight up?
Or I think Jalen Carter may eat. I'm
not mad at that.
He's motivated.
He got a chip on his shoulder, eh?
He got a chip on his shoulder, and he's coming into a great defense. So
yeah,
and he's gonna be on a good defensive line. So that means less double teams. This is what I wanted for the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Less double teams. Interior guy, he coming straight into your face.
Come again, please.
He coming straight into your face. Pause.
Wild talk here. That's how you know we've been going for too long. Melly's off the rails.
Jalen Carter gonna be off the rails in the NFC East.
Melly, I need a sleeper. I'm gonna get mine first, actually. So sleeper for rookie defensive player of the year. It would be so poetic if it was Joey Porter Jr. in Pittsburgh. It just would make sense for the Steelers, bro. Like, he's a legacy Steeler. They got him in the second round, first pick of the second round. He comes out of Penn State and just goes nuts, just Pennsylvania through and through. It would be a great story. I can see it happening. So, Joey Porter Jr., good sleeper for defensive rookie of the year. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go with somebody you probably ain't thinking of, but I'm gonna go with my guy we just drafted, Jair Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be coming in. He's replacing some guys in the defensive backfield. He's gonna be on a good team, good defensive line. You know, we might force some guys to throw the ball a little quicker. He might be around a lot of plays. We got Tafango back there in the defensive backfield, so I think he might have opportunity if he makes the plays.
Is he a safety or a corner?
Safety.
Okay.
Safety. So he gonna have an opportunity to roam. You know what I'm saying? Be around the ball a lot. You know, our safeties make a lot of plays for us. Tafango make a lot of plays for us. Baby Troy Polamalu. But yeah, bro, he my dark horse. You know what I'm saying? He got good ball skills. He had 10 interceptions the past 2 years in college ball.
Did he lead the nation in that? I'm pretty sure he did.
I think so.
Last 2 years in picks. I'm pretty sure that was his.
I think so, but he's a Penn State guy. He's a Penn State guy too. So
Big Ten products.
We both pick Big Ten guys, and I picked the guy on my team.
Yeah.
The last dark horse could be like Branch on the Lions.
Brian Branch, yep.
Yep.
I think he'll be a dog. I do.
Yeah, man. You got anything extra on this?
That was all we had.
I'm looking.
I do got something, but I'm gonna wait for Mike and CeeLo to be on the show.
That's cool.
This was a question that I will need them there to answer.
I was gonna say Jordan Battle, but they got. I was gonna say Jordan Battle, but Cincinnati. I had to go with my guy. I had to go with my guy on the 49ers, but I was gonna say Jordan Battle because he's stepping into he gonna be in a good position as well because he taking over Jesse Bates' spot, who was an All-Pro.
Yep.
And I think they got a similar skill set. And Jordan Battle is I almost said his brother name, but
right.
Jordan Battle is You know what I'm saying? Bama guy. He played a lot of ball for Bama. He know what's going on. I'm saying he ain't just like some athlete they throwing out there. I think he's a smart football player. He got
Yep.
good ball skills. He's one of those guys that's always around the ball. Not
Facts.
afraid of contact, and he will play the ball. So I
Yeah,
think he's gonna be good in Cincy.
I think he'll be good in Cincy too, because in that AFC North, that's more of a ground and pound division, and he's a run stopping safety. And Jordan Battle gonna come lay the boom for real. He reminds me a lot of a young Jamal Adams. The way he likes to roam in the box and he can come in and out of it and bluff.
And his gear.
And his gear, of course, the gear for sure. But yeah, no, I think that's a great fit with him being in Cincy, because they'll need somebody to, help slow down the Lamar rushing attack. And then you got the Brownie twins with Chubb and Hunt. And then you got the Steelers got Najee running the rock. So, and Jalen Richards. So yeah, I think Jordan Battle is actually a good sleeper for sure.
They're gonna run the ball, but they also gonna put that ball in the air. These quarterbacks in this conference is vets now.
Yeah.
Barring Kenny Pickett, but you know what I'm saying? We got Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. We just said Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Oh, them are the guys you're going against, and these gonna be some games. That ball gonna be in the air. It's gonna be physical. I think he's there for it. I think he's there for it for sure. He's there for it. You remind me of me for real. Mike tripping.
Relax.
But yeah, dog, y'all ready to get up out of here? Oh, before we get up out of here, subscribe right now and like the live. I see 6. I need a couple more likes on this live if y'all ain't do it already, and hit that sub button if y'all haven't already. It help us bring y'all more lives. It help us grow the channel. You know what I'm saying? We could bring y'all more stuff. We could get on live more often. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody who stopped by, everybody in the comments. If you liked it, love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm back. We're gonna have the guys on later on. If not, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna pivot, we're gonna move on. But Chad, you got anything to say to the people?
Welcome back, my brother. That's it. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you all. Welcome back, Melly. We back.
Without further ado, peace. Mike tripping. You gotta get up out of here.
Go ahead, hit the live, bro. Hit the live, bro.